Today's Thursday, it's the 22nd of May, it's 2025, and we've just come down to the bus stop. We're going to catch a bus into Palma, see what we can see when we get there.
And it's a bit chilly.
It's a bit breezy, it's quite windy, and there's some quite dark clouds up there, so we're just hoping it's not going to rain.
Promise me it's not going to rain.
Well, that's what the weather forecast said, no rain. Do they look like rain clouds to you? Well, we can hope, can't we? Well, we've just got off the bus and we're walking up Paseo Mallorca, right by the Torrente down there. And across the road, that's the police station, Policía Nacional. And just over there is the old part of Palma. So we're going up this way, somewhere different. Years ago I did actually go to the National Police Station. We used to go there actually to get our residence cards. So we used to queue up and wait there for hours and hours and hours. And work permits. We used to have work permits.
And the heat with the children in the pushchairs, I remember.
But I did actually go on a visit there once with the scouts. They took us in and showed us all the different parts. And we sat down at a computer and asked me the registration number of our car, or asked her name, and up it pops. All the information's there. So just coming up now to what's referred to as the avenidas, the avenues. It's like an inner ring road for Palma city. It goes all the way around and then comes out on the cathedral side. If you go to the right, of course. Again, we're not going that way, we're going the other way.
Oh, you walk as fast as Laura now.
That's something that has happened. I've started to be able to walk a lot quicker, and something I just couldn't do before. Just physically couldn't walk faster. My body wouldn't let me. Anyway, I seem to be doing all right now.
Laura's like a sergeant major.
We do have rough sleepers here in Palma. Feeding the pigeons. We need to cross over. Big shop in front is called Musicasa. And it's Kate. Yeah, Anita's been to Musicasa to buy a piano.
You did? Yeah. And it's legal for me.
So over here. That's the avenidas. Says it's still 21 degrees. It's quite breezy. Number 47 bus coming, that's our bus. No, don't do that. Oh, no, it says green, we can go. Very nervous with these. Heading off to S4T, which is where I went to that market last week when Anita was away. In that particular area, supposed to be a concert on this evening, and well, it's supposed to have started 15 minutes ago, so we might get there just as it's finishing. But, the initial time I'd seen was 7 o'clock, and then I've seen that at 6 o'clock. So
They changed days as well.
well, that's that. They could always do that, and I thought with the weather being a bit iffy, they may have cancelled the whole thing. But anyway, it gets us to see a little bit of a different part of Palma, and we've certainly never walked this way before. We're heading away from the sea now. It's like two cars are a little bit of a coming together. Very much a locals area, not a tourist area. This interesting church across the road. Hear the music?
Yeah.
Well, we're not going to miss it completely. We might just get the last 10 minutes.
Is this the square here?
In front here, it's called Plaza Madrid. Busy, lots of cars, look. It is 6:20 in the evening.
Is that lady's cat or dog?
Look, we can cross. I will have to get better organised at getting to these concerts. Never. Well, no, we've never walked around here at all. It's called the Palma Band, I think. They've got several of these concerts on different places at time. All three, I think. All part of the Palma culture. Cultura de Palma. And people have come out in force to hear the band.
Muy amable. Gracias. Chao, Agustín. Ahora tengo que poner.
Bravo, well done.
Estaba tocando en Mallorca.
Fantastic. Well, that was just a wonderful concert. They're all packing up now and the chairs are being put away. The locals are doing all of that. And what a fantastic thing to have, just sort of almost an impromptu thing on a Thursday evening. And luckily the blue skies held out. There were a few spots of rain for a time, but it was lovely. Beautiful concert. Well done. Great musicians and a conductor with a smile on his face who was obviously enjoying the occasion. And the band plays regularly. It's just a matter of finding out where and when, and not being like me, nearly missing it. Nearly. I just managed to catch enough though. So they've done, I think they do about 40 minutes, well 30, maybe more than 40 minutes. On the internet it does actually tell you what the pieces are that they're playing. So it was actually felt a bit cool as we were coming along. It feels quite warm now, the sun's come out again. So we're more or less heading back in around about the direction we came. There's the church I spoke about. And can we go down there? We can do. We'll come out by the river again.
By where?
The river, the Torrente.
Torrente de Paris.
Torrente de Palma. Of course, there's shops down here that we've never seen. We've never been down here before. It's a place that does framing there. We've just been going to the same framing shop in Santa Catalina for 30 years or more.
No, there's a different one we've gone now.
We found another one.
One near the prison.
Oh yes, across the road from the prison. Ah yes, I have been here because this is the Correos. I came here once and I can't remember why, so it must have been a long time ago. Probably in search of a packet. The breeze is picking up again. Dance studio. School of Dance. Correos across the road. Just one of the post offices. So if I have been there, it was probably by mistake. Just by coincidence it's Thursday and that's the day Anita would normally come into Palma, or one of the days normally comes into Palma with Yvonne, but not this Thursday because Yvonne's not here. She's
One of the holiday in Italy.
seeing the sights in Rome. So
We had a wonderful morning in San Telmo, didn't we?
we've had a lovely morning in San Telmo. Well,
With Lynn and Tony, thank you. No idea where we are. Close capital. wheel.
And, impressive, aren't they? One of them's fallen off, so I think it probably is. We're heading back towards the Instituto. I'm not recommending this as a walk around Palma, by the way. It just allows you to see, but it's not somewhere I would recommend. Not that there's anything particularly wrong, it's just that there's not a lot that's very interesting, really.
No shops.
Exactly, no shops. No bars. But housing, where people live. We'll cross over here. It's safe to do so. There's a car coming up. The reason I wanted to come across here is just to have a look at the river, which usually doesn't have very much in the way of water in it. It just looks wet at the moment. And the fact that there is across there, there's a park, which is one of the places I'm quite interested in visiting, because I've not been to that park. And if you look it up on Google Maps, one of the criticisms of it is that it's been left to rot and decay and it's not very nice. Well, apparently all that's changed, so maybe we should go and have a look. That's the Institute over there, and conveniently there's a bridge over here, so we can cross this bridge. This is another first. I've never crossed this bridge before. Having said that, I've been to a store down here that used to sell things for shops, shop fittings, and we came here and we bought various shop fittings like coat hangers and things like that, dress stands. I had a shop. Actually get down to it there, I'm not sure I'd want to do that. And this is the bridge, and this is a pedestrian bridge. There's no way any vehicles can come across here. That's going up towards the mountains. There is some water in it. If we come across on the other side, there's water down there too. There's not a lot of water in there. You'd get your feet wet, but that's about all, I think. But these torrentes, they're quite important, because when we do have a lot of rain, a lot of water can come down from the mountains very quickly, particularly in the winter time when the snow melts on the mountains. Yeah, we do get snow. So let's go and have a look at this park, which is up here. So yeah, if you have a look on Google Maps and find this, just next to the Avenidas by the Institute, there is a park. And one of the first reviews that I read talked about what a poor condition it was in. And then it did go on to say that it looked as though the local council are about to do something about it. Now, the review, in fact, was a few years old, so we come now and we can have a look to see what has been done. It's the back of the Instituto. Es Canodrom Nature Centre. And it's very pedestrianised, so we've got a very nice gentle walkway down, which is very convenient for wheelchairs and pushchairs. We've got a sort of a happy looking face. There are some steps down as well. Lots of graffiti over there. I think
Near where
it's,
that football stadium is then.
it's near to the old Louis St Jar football stadium, in fact.
There's an olive tree here.
And there's a running track here. It's just a gravelly running track, but it's a running track, so if you're into that running sort of thing. There's water, there's benches to sit, and people are actually using it as a park. And there's a little bit of litter, but it's not too bad. Youngsters playing football. Not sure what this is about. It's big and friendly looking. It does, doesn't it? So that's a running track, and there are some swings in the middle as well. It looks like they've planted some new trees. So there's a zip line in there.
El plátano en una esquina, ¿sabes lo que te digo? Ay, me he quitado la paella.
And some works of art. Not sure what it is, but it's interesting. But this is a space we've not been to before. It's a new space for us. It's nice.
We were saying walking around London how many nice green areas and parks there are there.
Yeah.
There really are.
We've just got the ramp now to come out of the park. And if we carried on up that way, across the road, we'd end up in the Ram Park. There's a big park there, which is where the Louis St Jar football stadium used to be. And on towards the cemetery. We're going to make our way back down into Palma. So we're walking up a ramp now, which takes us up to the road, and we're now looking down on the park. And there's a lot of trees in there, so when they mature, I think they'll grow pretty quickly as well. It's going to be a little wooded area, plenty of shade.
Is that the institute?
Yeah.
It's a really nice building.
It is, isn't it? I think I might take a photo. Yeah, we've got a nice building there, but I'm sorry, I don't really like them. I know people have got to live in something, but it's just a pity the architects can't be a little bit more imaginative and make these buildings a little bit prettier. We've got another plaza here, so this is right next to the park, and there's a proper children's playing area here, which is well populated. And lots of benches and trees. So people can come and sit in the evenings, and that's what they do. Here in Mallorca, it's not unusual to see people just wandering around at 10 o'clock at night, and certainly at the weekend, and even in the week sometimes there'll be children as well. It's early at the moment, it's just after 7 o'clock. And this is another area. I've never actually walked in this plaza that's in front of us. It's, I'm not sure what its proper name is. It's referred to as Plaza del Tubo. We'll see why in a moment. I'm guessing it might tell me on a sign what it really is called. Oh, boringly, it's called Carrer de l'Institut Balear. If you look here, it's a big long tube.
What's this tube mean?
It's it's a work of art here. It must have some significance. Yeah, I've noticed the jacaranda trees are starting in different places. The jacaranda are starting all over. Lovely purpley colour. See if I can get a little picture of this one. Yep, somebody's shoes up there. No problem getting those down. And then we come out onto the Avenidas, which is where we sometimes get off the bus. 7:20. You want to carry on walking, or where do you want to catch the bus? Back in the Sindicato? It's actually called Ramanu. Oh, and we've got a green light here, so let's take advantage of that. Cross over. We're heading towards Via Roma. Well, if we carry on all the way down Via Roma, we're in Plaza Mayor, and then Sindicato just beyond that. Queuing up at the ice cream store. They've probably just come out of the Institute. Ambulance with his flashing lights on up there. I hope everyone's all right. They're conveniently close to the hospital. This is Clínica Roger. This is a hospital. It's a private hospital, but yeah, they do cater for everything, including accidents and emergencies. They actually bring Adam here once when he broke something. I think it was a work-related accident. And so the school's insurance paid for whatever he had done here. I can't remember. It was actually not when he was a student. I think it was when he was working, probably doing something in the sports. And this is the Misericordia, This is one of the places the band often plays, just behind the building there. There's a big square, big courtyard, which is where they have concerts. We've been to some wonderful concerts there, particularly when COVID struck and the orchestra were not allowed to play in any theatres. They had to play outside, and that was one of the places they used to perform. So we used to go there on a monthly basis at least to listen to concerts. That's Sindicato. Oh, that's Sindicato. I'm getting lost here. Sindicato is just down there. Seems pretty busy. Sindicato. Oh, I'm getting all my names wrong. Yes, sorry, it's Cayolmos. Not Sindicato at all. God. Strike that last 30 seconds. That's Cayolmos. Thank you, darling. She's just putting me right again. This is Via Roma. All right this time.
And then we're going to get some flowers if we've got some nice ones.
Looks like the flower stalls are packing up for the evening. Smells so good though. This building over on the left is the Social Security. Been in the news today. The people who work there saying that there's big problems because of the lack of staff. It's the staff who process things like pensions that we have or benefits that other people may have, and they don't have enough staff to process them, and really short of staff. Pharmacy across the road. It's the pharmacy. Used to be open all the time. It's now got opening hours, I think.
Go to Sonferrer Market tomorrow and get some flowers.
Well, that's a thought. We can go to Sonferrer Market. That'd be a nice market for us to visit. Friday, Sonferrer Market. And that's one that goes all the year round and is quite well established because there's a big area where locals live, residents live. And so there's always a clientele. There's a few bars around there, do good menus of the day. And obviously very busy on a Friday with the market being there, and often you need to book. There's the Aspas Cafe.
Favourite places to come.
Really nice plate of the day that they do there. Very reasonable price, and it's like a foundation, so you're helping to support the foundation by having a meal there. Here are the Roman centurions on guard this end of Via Roma. And ahead we have Plaza Mayor. Sure, Anita wants to go up the steps. Now, to park in this car park, you have to enter the old part of Palma, so you need to have a sticker to say that your car conforms with the environmental rules. Well, off we go. Set camera off. Oh, here we are, just entering Plaza Mayor. Apologies if I'm panting. I've been up a lot of steps. 84 steps. Well, it used to be an Italian. Not anymore.
Oh, is that where we went to? Yeah. It's gone. It's an Italian, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, I tried to go down there.
This is Plaza Mayor, and all of this is going to change when the Ayuntamiento, the town hall, finds the money to put the plans into action. But I think here it's all going to be all opened up. We'll be able to look down into the area below. So it will be quite a strange, different place. But anything will be an improvement on the derelict gallery that's below and the broken paving that's on the top. But the bars are looking, restaurants starting to look busy. It's very early, it's not past 7 yet. I think my battery's about to run out. Just coming to Callejones. A little walk down Callejones. This is one that I do quite often, and always admire here the decor there. And I think Anita goes here for coffee sometimes, don't you?
Used to, yes.
Used to. Lots of shops, and some will be open, some will already closed down. It's 7:30 now. Lots of shoes there. Graffiti. Still quite a few people around, seeing as it's getting towards dinner time. You think tourists would be off to the hotels, you know. My battery on my GoPro was just about to run out, so I've switched over to a different camera. And I've not usually I've not walked with this camera before, so I'm not sure how good the stability is or whether I've got the right setting for it. So this is a bit of an experiment. Sad to see that this shop's gone. This used to be like the scout shop. It's refugee. But no more. I used to go there to buy maps and even scout badges. Oh, it's going to be a new restaurant called Yuck. Not sure I want a restaurant called Yuck. Unique foods. I think they're going to serve cockroaches or something. Oh, yuck. We'll find out when it happens. Nice hats in there though. Quite expensive ones. Nice prices to go with them. Quite a few phone shops along here, and if you break your phone or something happens to it, then this is the sort of place I suppose you could go to. Again, I've never used any of the facilities, but people obviously do. You need a new suitcase.
Luggage shop beyond Con goes to all the time.
Which one?
That luggage one.
Little one, little details, and they've got
This one's a lovely octopus.
an interesting, different looking embroidery machine there. A couple of embroidery machines.
One of our favourite shops, this one.
This one, octopus. You've got tortoises and rhinoceros.
I had my necklace from here.
And just down there used to be Casa Rocca, very famous stationers in Palma. No more, gone. Just over there we've got churros.
Not for you, darling.
Definitely not for me. The churros are for Adolfo and special occasions. I think the last time I had a churro was actually on the embankment, wasn't it?
We walked past the place and I said that we had something here, it's still open.
It's a mango outlet.
Very pleased with my trainers I had for walking around London. My Pumas from Festival Park, weren't they?
Wow. It's done with laser, I think. Some interesting things there, like pictures drawn onto leaves. I've not tried that with my laser machine. Interesting. Well, that was a new shop for both of us there, where they are doing laser engraving onto leaves, and they're cutting palm leaves and shaping palm leaves into different things. Really very artistic, really beautiful. And there is a number 46. quite a long walk and interesting. Love the band. Hope the music came out all right. Not sure we're using this microphone, but it was a really fun event and lots of people enjoyed it as well as us. And we've managed to get our way back to the bus stop. There's a bus in and we just need to get on it. So thanks for watching and we'll see you in the next one. So bye for now. Bye.